I'm Joe Catalano with an AM Quincy news update for Friday, October 17th. No Kings protests against the Trump administration in Massachusetts and across the country are expected to draw large crowds tomorrow. According to NBC News, millions are expected to march in nationwide protests, and organizers are expecting to far exceed the 5 million demonstrators who turned out for June's No Kings Day. In Boston, a No Kings protest is planned on Boston Common tomorrow from noon to 3. Mayor Michelle Wu is among the speakers. State Police Colonel Jeffrey Noble said his department is aware of the event and has been making preparations. A No Kings rally will also be held on the Hancock Adams Common in Quincy Center tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Congressman Stephen Lynch is scheduled to speak. Up to 1,000 participants are expected to attend the Quincy event. Significant turnout is also expected at major rallies in Washington, D.C., New York City, Chicago, and Portland, Oregon. The demonstrations are happening against the backdrop of a nation in conflict. Congress is at a standstill amid a government shutdown. Trump ordered National Guard deployments to California, Illinois, Oregon, and Washington, D.C. against the wishes of local elected officials. Immigration agents are aggressively carrying out arrests in cities across the country. In videos showing clashes, sometimes violent, with residents and protesters have followed. The No Kings theme was orchestrated by the 50501 movement to support democracy and against what they call the authoritarian actions of the Trump administration. The name 50501 stands for 50 states, 50 protests, 1 movement. A woman has died days after she was struck by a car in Randolph. 57-year-old Ruth Samuels of Dorchester was hit near the intersection of Warren and Silver Streets at about 6:20 a.m. on Tuesday. She was rushed to the hospital, but later died of her injuries. The driver stayed at the scene. So far, no charges have been filed. Randolph and State Police and the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office are investigating. A shakeup at the Massachusetts Department of Transportation. Governor Healey announcing yesterday Monica Tibbetts-Nutt has decided to step down from her position as Transportation Secretary and MassDOT CEO. And MBTA General Manager Phil Eng will be taking her place on an interim basis. Tibbetts-Nutt will stay on as an advisor through the end of the year. She's planning to return to the private sector. The change in leadership comes a day after MassDOT announced that a major contract to renovate and run 18 highway service plazas in the state was going back out for bid in what's been a controversial process. An Irish company that was originally awarded the 35-year lease in June pulled out of the project last month, citing failed negotiations with MassDOT and a costly legal fight. The state's now scrambling to extend leases with current rest stop service providers that are set to expire in January. Losing bidder Global Partners, a Waltham-based company, had sued MassDOT this summer, alleging that there were ethical violations and conflicts of interest that tainted the bid process. Healey recently defended MassDOT, saying she believed the agency ran a transparent process. Eng will continue to serve as MBTA General Manager while he leads MassDOT in the interim. It was appointed to lead the T in 2023 as the transit agency faced intense scrutiny for safety and performance issues. Eng said at a press conference in Boston yesterday he's not worried about being stretched too thin. He said he's open to holding the interim secretary role as long as it's needed. Governor Healey yesterday detailing efforts to prevent street takeovers in Massachusetts through a combination of citations, arrests, and millions of dollars in traffic safety grants. Earlier this month, the Boston police said a crowd of more than 100 people blocked traffic during a meetup in the area of Tremont Street and Mass Ave. They allegedly attacked police cruisers with fireworks, cones, poles, and other objects, torching one cruiser. two teenagers from Rhode Island. 18-year-old Julian Bowers and 19-year-old William Cantwell were the only people arrested. They pleaded not guilty and were released on bail in the amount of $500 for Bowers and $1,000 for Cantwell. That same weekend, Fall River police arrested 5 people between the ages of 19 and 22 after a group blocked roads and did donuts with their cars during a street takeover. Similar incidents have been reported in Randolph and Middleborough. Last week, Governor said she was directing state police to work with local law enforcement to prevent further street takeovers. The Healey administration said police have issued 232 civil violations, 74 warnings, 20 criminal summons, and made 7 arrests during an operation Saturday across eastern and southeastern Massachusetts. Police also towed 15 cars, made 2 seizures under the Controlled Substances Act, and recovered 1 stolen car. The governor has called on the public to alert police if they see social media posts about potential takeovers. Healey also announced the state's giving $14 million in safety grants from the federal government to more than 200 local police departments and 10 state agencies to support traffic enforcement and stop illegal activity. Well, the Montclair Wollaston Neighborhood Association will be holding their annual Pumpkin Spice Festival Saturday from noon to 4 p.m. at Bishop's Field on Holbrook Road. The free event will include a petting zoo, live music, family games, pony rides, touch-a-truck, and a bounce house. Food and beverages will be available for purchase. You can visit montclairwollaston.com for more information. The Norfolk County Sheriff's Office and Ward 4 Councilor James Devine will host a free Fall Fest Sunday from noon to 3 at O'Rourke Field on Quarry Street in Quincy. The event will include family activities, canine demonstration, touch-a-truck, bounce house, obstacle course, and local food and beverage vendors. The Lions Club iMobile will also be offering free eye screenings. Household Hazardous Waste Day is Saturday from 8 a.m. to noon at the Quincy DPW on C Street. Quincy residents with proof of residency can dispose of household hazardous waste for free, and free document shredding will also be available. Recovered Souls will hold their Quincy Recovery Walk Sunday at 9:30 a.m. at Pageant Field. The event is free to all walkers, and there will be music and refreshments after the 3-mile walk. You can email tina@recoveredsouls.org for more information. Applications are being accepted through October 31st from groups who would like to have a float in the 72nd Annual Quincy Christmas Parade on November 30th. The parade committee has selected Historic Quincy Celebrates Christmas as this year's theme, and say float should reflect the Quincy 400 celebration. Email pdoherty@quincyma.gov for more information. The Quincy Police Department has announced that Cops in the Parks will continue on Tuesdays and Thursdays, weather permitting, through October 23rd at Lingo's Park on Taffrail Road in Germantown. The Executive Office of Public Safety has extended funding from the Shannon Community Initiative to continue that free program, which is open to everyone. The Thomas Crane Public Library is conducting a winter clothing drive through the end of January. Donations of clean, good condition winter coats, hats, gloves, scarves, blankets, and other cold weather gear are being accepted. Donations will also be available to the public, and any remaining donations will be donated to local organizations. Quincy Farmers Market is open Sundays from 12:30 to 4 at St. Chrysostom's Episcopal Church on Hancock Street in Wollaston, and the market will run through October 26th. You can visit quincyfarmersmarket.com for more information. A check of business news this morning, and stocks pulled back yesterday. The Dow was down 301. The Nasdaq lost 107, and the S&P dropped 41. Asian stocks also skidded following a retreat on Wall Street, driven by concerns over banks' loan portfolios. The dollar fell, the euro rose, oil $56 a barrel. In sports, the Bruins lose to the Golden Knights in Vegas 6-5 last night. They'll be in Colorado Saturday night at 9. The Patriots are in Tennessee Sunday at 1. Forecast from the National Weather Service today, sunny and a high 62. Clear tonight, lows in the mid-40s. Tomorrow, mainly sunny, high 64. Sunday, partly cloudy, the high of 69. Rain on Monday at a high 64. Out on the water, waves 2 feet. Northerly winds 10 to 15, gusting to 25. There is a small craft advisory in effect. High tide 9:12 a.m. Sunrise 6:59, sets at 5:58. I'm Joe Catalano with an AM Quincy news update for Friday, October 17th.